Today is October 26, 2021. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, this might be a short one today, but I just wanted to talk about the priorities that people have in our country, especially the priorities that the liberals, the pro-abortion people might have, as opposed to the priorities that conservatives and pro-life people might have. And you hear a lot about our cherished American values. You hear that a lot by the left. And included in that American value is the right to abortion, the right to kill innocent unborn babies, all in the name of choice. Well, I got to thinking about a few examples of where our priorities are out of kilter. They're just all skewed. And the first one, you might want to challenge me on this, but it has to do with the southern border. We have laws on the books, immigration laws that have been passed by Congress and signed by the president, and they've been enforced for decades. And they are being ignored. The Biden administration is now allowing tens of thousands of illegal immigrants to cross into our country. Many of them are not being tested for COVID. Many of them are coming in with drugs. They may be gang members. There's just a lot of different types of people coming into our country, and they don't seem to be vetted very well. And my question is, why is our government allowing them to come into the country in violation of the law? If you want to become an immigrant, like my ancestors did, and I'm sure most of your ancestors did, they came legally. They applied for immigration status, and they came, and they waited their time, and they became citizens. And I'm all for immigration, but I want it to be done legally. So is our American value in jeopardy? I think when it comes to illegal immigration, it is, because we want people to come here legally. Another issue, the January 6th insurrection by the left. When was the last time you saw a coup d'etat or an insurrection take place when the leaders of the rebellion had no weapons? That's unheard of. If you're going to take over a country, you're going to do it by force, with guns and tanks and machine guns and whatever else you might want to get, because you want to take over the country. And I'm not justifying what happened on January 6th. I think the people who broke into the Capitol building should be prosecuted. I really do. And especially the people that damaged windows and rooms and offices and desks and computers. They need to be prosecuted. And if they're found guilty, they need to go to jail. And I have no trouble saying that. But the left has become apoplectic when it comes to that January 6th riot, and they want to hang these people, at least figuratively. But last year, during the George Floyd incident, and we had a lot of riots in our country, Seattle, Portland, Minneapolis, buildings were burned, police officers were hurt, some were killed, innocent citizens were killed, a lot of damage. Billions of dollars of damage occurred during those riots in those larger cities. And yeah, there were some arrests, but for the most part, the left-leaning media basically said, oh, these people are basically peaceful protesters. There's nothing here. They did not get outraged by what was happening in our cities, with the increase in crime and violence, the increase in murder and rapes and theft. Today, people can go into, I think in Los Angeles or San Francisco, people can walk into a store and steal $950 worth of merchandise and walk right out the building, and they will not be prosecuted for a felony, even for a misdemeanor. They will not be, because there's now an ordinance in, I think it is San Francisco, in the city, that says the police will not prosecute petty crimes up to $950. So stores are closing all over the place because they are being robbed of their merchandise. So where's the outrage? Well, there isn't any. So another example, our American values are being tossed to the wind by the left because there are some things they care about and other things they don't. And one of the things they do care about is abortion. They care about the taking of human life. You know, and I got to thinking here, several years ago, 1979, this book came out by Francis Schaeffer, Christian apologist, and the future Surgeon General under Ronald Reagan's administration, C. Everett Koop, pediatric surgeon. They wrote this book, Whatever Happened to the Human Race, in 1979. And let me just read the first two sentences. Cultures can be judged in many ways, but eventually every nation in every age must be judged by this test. How did it treat people? That says it all right there. The unborn baby is alive because if it's not alive, it's not growing. So the baby is alive in the womb, and the baby is human because it is the product of two human parents. So if it's alive and it's a human being, we need to treat it, he or she, with respect. How did our culture treat people? And for the 62 million babies aborted since 1973, the answer to that is we have failed in our job to treat unborn babies humanely and with respect. How do we treat babies? We've killed them to the tune of 60 million people. And that is a tragedy, an unspeakable tragedy that our country's going to have to reckon with sooner or later. So with that, I just wanted to touch bases with you today. Nothing in the news that I want to talk about at this point. Maybe next week I'll bring something more time conscious. With that, I'll let you go. See you next time.